Good morning everyone. Welcome to today's physics class. So today we are going to revise chapter 8, that is motion. So the objective of today's class is to revise the important topics of the chapter motion. So let's start the class. So first of all, let us understand what is motion. So an object is said to be in motion if it changes its position with respect to its surrounding in a given time. So we can only consider an object to be moving when it changes its position with respect to its surrounding. So motion is always observed and measured with a point of reference. So we have to always consider a point of reference in order to uh, analyze the motion in any object. That means if we consider a point here A, and suppose an observer is here, so he should see that this object from point A moves his position to point B. So here he can observe two different positions of this object, and thus he can say that this object is moving from this direction towards this direction. So we'll consider this as a reference point. So this is the starting point or reference point. So there will be always a reference point with respect to which we can say that an object is moving. Then okay, so let's talk about what is distance. The distance covered by an object is described as the total path length covered by an object between two endpoints. So what is distance? It is the total path length, we can say. Suppose an object starts moving from point A, let's say this is point A, and reaches to point, let's say it first reaches to point B, from A to B, and then it reaches to point C, and suppose the distance between A and B is 40 kilometers, and from B to C it is 20 kilometers. So here the end points are what? A and C. So in order to find the distance, what we have to consider? We have to consider the total path length. So here from A to B it is 40, and from B to C it is 20. So total distance covered will be what? 60 kilometers. So this is how you can calculate distance. So actually we have to find the total path length of the object through which it has reached from the initial point to the final point. So the entire path length we have to consider. Distance is a numerical quantity. We do not mention the direction in which an object is traveling while mentioning about the distance covered by the object. So irrespective of the direction uh, through which it is moving, we can calculate the distance. So hence we are only considering the numerical quantity. So it is a scalar quantity as well. Because of this property, distance is considered as what? Scalar quantity. Next, okay, so what is displacement? The shortest possible distance between the initial and final position of an object is called displacement. So what is the difference now between distance and displacement? Now here displacement is the shortest possible distance between the initial and final position of an object. Displacement depends upon the direction in which the object is traveling. So here we have to consider the direction of the path, direction in which the object is traveling. Now if we consider this A as the initial point, and suppose B is a point, now the distance between A and B is, let's say, 60 kilometers. Now suppose after traveling to B, the object returns back to point C. Now C is the final position, and what is the initial position? A. Now here C means you have to consider the same straight line. Okay, let me draw the diagram once again. Now, suppose this is point A, this is point B. Now object moves from point A to point B, and then he returns back to point C. Now distance from A to B is, let's say it is 100 meters and from B to C it is 40 meters. So what is the displacement in this case? Here the displacement will be 60 because he ended at point C, which is how far from A? It is 60 meters from point A. So we are considering only the initial position and the final position. So the shortest distance between the initial and final is your displacement. Hence we can say the shortest possible distance between initial position and final position is your displacement, and therefore it also depends upon what direction. So this is how we can calculate displacement. Now on the basis of what we have learned, we can bring out the differences between distance and displacement. So let us see the difference between distance and displacement. Now before that, let us consider a few more examples. Now before coming to the difference between distance and displacement, let us consider this example once again. So here we have a diagram where the object moves in a straight line. Now this is your starting point and the object reaches till point. This is the end point. So he travels 60 kilometer. Now according to this figure, if an object moves from point O to point A, now this is, let this be point O and let this be point A, then the total distance traveled by the object is given as 60 kilometer. So here the distance travel will be 60 kilometer, and also in this case displacement will be 60 kilometer. So from the same diagram, if we consider the shortest distance, it is again shortest distance is from point O to point A. So therefore displacement will also be what, 60 kilometers. So here both distance and displacement is same, but there will be cases where you will see that distance and displacement are different. So this is the case where you will find that distance and displacement is same. Okay, so how displacement can be zero? Let us see one more example. Now when your initial point and final point is same, the displacement is always considered as what, zero. So when the first and the last position of an object are same, the displacement is zero. For example, now let us consider this given diagram. So here let A be the starting point, and the object after traveling through B, C, D returns back to A. Now in this case your distance will not be zero, but your displacement will be zero. Why? Because your starting point is A and also the finishing point is what, A. So the shortest distance between point A and A is what, obviously zero. So displacement at point A is what, zero, because the shortest distance from A to A is what, zero. But in this case, if we consider the distance will be what, from point A to A, we have to add all these values. So 3 plus 5 plus 3 becomes 8 plus 3 11, 11 plus 5 is what, 16. So the total distance traveled in this case is what, 16 meter. So distance is 16, whereas displacement is what, 0. So this is how we can analyze the difference between distance and displacement. For the same diagram, your distance is 16 meters, but your displacement is what, 0 meters. Okay, so now let us just go through the differences between distance and displacement. So we all know the definition of distance. It is the length of the path traveled by the body while moving from initial position to the final position, whereas displacement is what, it is the shortest distance between the initial position and final position. So whatever we have learned, we can just put those points here. Now distance is a scalar quantity and displacement is a vector quantity. Then distance measured is always positive, whereas displacement can be positive or negative, or it can even be zero depending on the reference point. Then the total distance covered is equal to the algebraic sum of all the distances traveled in different directions. So we have to consider the algebraic sum of all the distances of the paths through which the object moves. Then the net displacement is the vector sum of the individual displacements in different directions. Then there is always a distance covered whenever there is a motion. Displacement will be zero if the body comes back to its initial position. So this says that distance cannot be zero or can never be zero whenever there is motion, but displacement can be zero. Just now we have discussed one example. Now here this is similarity. Even though it is written here, so we have to consider this as similarity, that is their unit is same. Unit of both distance and displacement is what? Meter. So this is not a difference, this is the similarity, so we can exclude this point from the difference part. So unit of both distance and displacement is what? Meter. So that is your similarity, not difference, so you should not include this point number 6 here. Okay, so let's move to the next topic, that is speed. So what is speed? Speed of an object is defined as the distance traveled by the object per unit time. So what is speed? It is the distance traveled by the object per unit time. So speed is given by distance upon time. So this is the formula to find what? Speed. So the SI unit of speed will be what? We know SI unit of distance is what? Meter, and time is seconds. So speed will be what? Meter per second. So SI unit of speed is meter per second. So this is the formula which you can use to calculate speed. Okay, so next, what is average speed? If the motion of object is not non-uniform, then we calculate the average speed to signify the rate of motion of that object. Now if the object moves with variable speed for its entire journey, then we have to find average speed in that case. So how can we say that? Now let us consider point A to point B. Object moves with 50 km per hour. 50 km per hour. 50 km per hour, and from B to C it moves with 30 km per hour. So in this case there are variable speeds, and therefore you need to find average speed instead of finding speed. If you are asked to find the speed of the object from A to point C, in that case you have to find average speed, not the speed. So how will you calculate? It can be calculated by using the formula total distance traveled by total time taken. So this is the formula to calculate average speed. Okay, so next let us understand what is velocity. The rate of change of displacement is your velocity. So what is velocity? It is the rate of change of displacement. Unlike speed, it is what? It is displacement by time, whereas speed is what? Distance by time. So therefore we can say velocity is also a what? Vector quantity, because it depends upon displacement, and displacement is what? Your vector quantity. And now unit is what? Unit is same as that of speed, that is meter per second. So this is the formula to find what? Velocity. So we can say that velocity can also be 0, because if your displacement is 0, then velocity will be also what? 0. So this is the difference between speed and velocity. So what is point number 1? Speed of the body is the distance traveled by it per unit time, whereas velocity is the distance traveled by per unit time in a given direction. So when we say given direction, we are talking about displacement. So you can also say distance displacement traveled per unit time. So in a given direction, distance in a given direction is nothing but your displacement. It is a scalar quantity, whereas velocity is a vector quantity. It cannot be 0 and it can be 0. So more or less the differences are same as that of between distance and displacement. Only if we consider the first point, that is the definition of speed and velocity, you have to write, whereas in case of distance displacement you have to again use the definition of distance and displacement. So this is how you can easily remember the differences between distance, displacement, and also between speed and velocity. So now let us talk about acceleration. So what is acceleration? The rate of change of velocity is termed as acceleration. It is represented by the formula final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. Now if we consider u as the initial velocity and v as the final velocity, now if I write here u as initial velocity and v as final velocity, then this formula, and a is acceleration is represented by, let's say it is represented by a. So here we can write a equals to v minus u by t. where t is the time. So this is the formula which you can use to find acceleration. Okay, so the SI unit will be what? As it is velocity upon time, the SI unit will be meter per second square. So here the SI unit is what? Meter per second square, and it is also a what? Vector quantity. The acceleration is taken to be positive if it is in the direction of velocity. If it is along the direction of motion, it is considered as positive, and if the acceleration is in the opposite direction of velocity, then it is considered as negative acceleration, or it is also known as what? Retardation or deceleration. An object moving on a circular path, though with uniform speed, is always said to be accelerated as it changes direction at every moment. We have already discussed this in the topic uniform circular motion, because uniformly circular motion is what? An accelerated motion, even though the motion is what? Uniform. So this is an exception where you have to understand why it is an accelerated motion, because it changes its direction. So changing direction, that means it is in acceleration. Okay, so these are the three equations of motion. Number 1, v equals to u plus at. Number 2, s equal to ut plus half at square. And number 3, twice as equals to v square minus u square. So where u represents initial velocity, v represents final velocity, and s represents displacement. A is the acceleration and t is time. So these things you have to remember. Please try to underline or highlight these three equations of motion. These are very important, and few numericals you can practice depending on these formulas. So please try to remember this equation. So this is all about today's class. In the next class we'll try to do few numericals, and now I'll be sharing a link where you will get certain questions based on this video. So please try to fill that form and submit within this class timing only. So thank you everyone for attending the class. Thank you very much.